Alright, so we're here for round 1, and our hand's pretty good. No qualms keeping a hand like this. Some people might say it's threat light, but I think Liliana is a perfectly reasonable threat. Are we playing a mirror match? No, he's playing pod. So we have to lead with Thoughtseize in order to snipe any potential birthing pods. And we did it! Although, our Lilianas are not looking very good. This is going to be a tough one. Inquisition is generally not super great against this deck, but it's still fine, and I keep it in. And it's good that he drew a 2-drop. That means we get to get them both. So now he has a red cap and nothing. Maybe if he doesn't draw land, we can get him with Liliana. Okay, so that's cool. And I think it's just Liliana tick up here. And I think I discard this other Liliana. So he still has his red cap. Okay, so he's going to get to cast that this turn. Maybe kill Liliana. See, and this would be one of those spots where, like, Courser is actually pretty good, as opposed to Lifebane. Yeah, so now I have this kind of dinky 3-1 guy when what I really want is a 2-4. So, yeah, that just kind of, like, further cements my decision to play Courser instead of these. I feel like I'm just playing Lifebane to block his Sphinx. The other option is to use both my removal spells to kill the Sphinx, but I think I would rather just save the Dismember. Tarmogoyf's good. 5/6 even. That is large. Now we just have to hope that he doesn't draw too well. Because since we have Tarmogoyf, I like our spot. Voice isn't too bad. Treetop's not too bad either. I think I'm just going to decay this right now since he doesn't have many decay targets. And I'm kind of at risk of him just like granted his Shriekmaw is gone, he could draw Witness, or potentially like Chord for Witness and get back a Shriekmaw and kill this, and I don't want him to just be able to like double Alpha Strike me. And I don't think I can attack yet. I think maybe next turn I can attack, and then I have Treetop back. Okay, well now I'm not attacking, because I would rather just have Confidant drawing me some cards rather than trying to race. Keep Edge open in case he draws a Township. Ooh, main deck Abrupt Decay, that's really good. So I think I just have to take this hit. Draw some lands. Can't really use this Dismember too effectively. If he attacks again, maybe he'll send his voice into my Treetop and I can just Dismember the elemental that he gets. Decay was definitely a good draw, though, for sure. no. That's a good draw, too. I don't think I have a way to beat that. Pontiff, yeah. Okay. Alright. So now I can trade my treetop for half of his red cap. And dismember the elemental, but I'm pretty sure this is just a losing battle. I mean, alternatively, I could dismember this with the persist trigger on the stack, but I think I would rather have these trade and kill his 5/5. Okay, that's good. Would have been a nice draw last turn to stop his red cap, but not really complaining. I would be very surprised if we could fight through this somehow, but might as well play on. So we're going to get that Pontiff with the Haunt trigger on the stack. Oh yeah, I always forget to do that. Well, I'm still going to cast this. There's a chance that he just attacks my Liliana twice, but I highly doubt it. Especially since I was nice enough to not gain the extra life. And he has me on a 2-turn clock. Alright, that'll do it. That is game one. So, as you guys may have noticed, Liliana is typically pretty bad here. I really like the skin renders and the cages, and the Lilianas and decays are not great. And then, I wasn't sure which is better between Night of Soul's Betrayal and Drown in Sorrow. Dark Confidant is kind of integral to my plan, which is just kill a bunch of their stuff and kind of beat them down. So Night of Soul's Betrayal is not great with that, neither is Drown in Sorrow, but Night of Soul's Betrayal can kind of lock out their persist guys, which is nice. And then sometimes it's nice to even just like be able to kill your own Dark Confidant in the later game because you're generally at a pretty low life total. I think I'm just going to try the Drown in Sorrows. I think they're more high impact, like they have more X2s than they have X1s. Fulminator's not great here. Golgari Charm is like passable but not great. Kind of the same thing with Liliana and Decay, so I have tried both Night of Soul's Betrayal and Drown, and I think I like Drown slightly more, so we'll try that. So this is a pretty reasonable hand. And the big debate is basically whether or not I'm getting a forest or an overgrown tomb with one of these fetches. I think here I can lead with Inquisition because I'm in no danger of getting potted on the next turn. So he has a one-lander with a Thrun. It's interesting. So, From looking at his hand, the Decay and the Voice are the two most threatening things, but I think the Voice is significantly less threatening. Like, he's not going to be able to have a bunch of creatures in play, so I think I just want to take the Decay and protect my Tarmogoyf. Okay, and since I drew that, I can fetch a forest, but I don't really see any reason to fetch right now, because I wouldn't mind if I drew a 4th land on time for that skin render. So he's taking a bunch of damage to play a Voice. I'm fine with that. I drew a Dark Confidant. That's pretty good. I should have thought about what I was going to do. I thought I was going to life bait him. I think I'm still going to, but Thoughtseize Dark Confidant was also an option. But I'm still going to life bait him, I think. I think that's correct. Get to take his Sphinx. So he has Redcap Township and Thrun. Then he basically doesn't get to play a spell this turn. I get to Thoughtseize something else. So I'm in a pretty good spot here. I will happily accept your 2 damage. So we have another skin render. That's good. There's a Revel Arc. I think the game is going to end well before that hits play. So I think Redcap is the biggest deal for me, because now my Goyf's going to be a 4/5. Even if he gets to play Thrun, he's not going to be able to like block and regenerate. It's going to tax his mana, and then I'll still have Life Bane beating him down. Basically, just don't want him to Redcap my Life Bane. Or alternatively, my Dark Confidant. But so this is basically the perfect draw, where I get to disrupt him, beat him down, and he's kind of like stumbling a little bit. Still had all these skin renders. So that went well, although not completely indicative of the matchup. So, and I think this is fine. I think I'm just doing the same stuff. I think Knight of Souls Betrayal is too narrow, so I'm gonna keep the Drowns. Well, this hand is pretty good. Ooze is really good against this deck, and I have a cage to stop any Birthing Pods and whatnot, and I get to see if he has like Pride Mage or anything to stop this. So I don't mind if he plays Birthing Pod, so I'm going to Inquisition him. And I think I'm just going to take his 2 removal spells over the next couple turns. And then just leave him with Redcap and Melira. I'm going to need to be able to pump up this Ooze at some point, so it can't just get Redcapped, but he's still a Black Source shy of doing that. But so just Thoughtseize him. Leave him with Dismember Forest, or leave him with Redcap Forest. I think that's good. And I'm just going to play this land and pass. I think the ideal scenario for me is if he draws a land and he either attacks with this and I block, and he like either townshipped it or Redcapped to finish off my treetop, then I could play Ooze and pump it. Sphinx kind of changes things. Oh, so he did have mana for Redcap too. That's interesting. Maybe he made a mistake and he actually wanted to do the play that I wanted him to. Okay, interesting. So now I'm just going to Thoughtseize him, edge his township, and then play a cage. And I think we're in a pretty good spot. Then we can untap, play Ooze, make it a 3/3. And we're kind of covered against most draws here. So like his chords and birthing pods are not great. I'm at kind of a low life total, I suppose, but and I think I'm just going to take this hit here, and then next turn keep open Treetop. He's drawing a string of lands. Okay, so now I have a Dark Confidant on 6 life. And I'm not as far ahead in this game as I would like. So I think I can play Confidant, especially since I have Ooze to gain me some of that life back, and the fact that my curve is mostly low except for the skin renders that I have. So here, I'm actually going to attack with the Ooze, and then I still have Treetop up to block this, and if he attacks with Malira, I will happily trade Confidant with that, I think, because then I'm just not really in danger of dying. Yeah, he's just drawing all lands. And now we play the game where he hopes the Confidant kills me, but... So he does have his his Malira to get around my skin render, which is pretty funny. I think we're probably just playing it. I think we just want another body out there. It's not even like other creatures you control. Just too bad. Just need him to not draw a pretty big flyer. Ooze is okay. He certainly has way more green mana than I do. So it's possible that his kind of gets out of control, but we'll see. I think now maybe I should just edge one of his green sources. It kind of makes it risky if he draws a township, but I think if he draws a township, he's in a pretty good spot anyway. I don't know. He has 6 green sources to my 3. Doesn't feel like I'm going to be able to win those battles. Yeah, I'll just keep it open for edge, or for township. And we'll just keep playing this draw go game, I guess, where I get to draw 2 cards a turn. Now he's going to start removing stuff to make any potential Tarmogoyfs I draw pretty small. Well, now I can basically match him on green sources. Yeah, it's possible I should have attacked with Skin Render there, actually, since I have so many treetops. And I do kind of have to start dealing him damage. I can't just like let this Dark Confidant sit out and play it while I'm not attacking him, because eventually it's gonna hit me for a decent amount. Okay, Throne's pretty big. Another cage is okay. Alright, so we drew our own Tarmogoyf. Okay, now things can happen, actually. So, start things off by Slaughter Pacting his Ooze. Then, I can play this Tarmogoyf that has reasonable size. Can eat his Ooze to go up to 3. And maybe it is time to ship in the Dark Confidant. So post board, I have 6, 9 things that can kill me from here, from 3 life. Yeah, I have 9, so 8 of them are left in my deck. So those are like not great odds for me. So I think I start shipping in Babe. And it's possible I attack with some other stuff too. Just to gain the life. I don't know. So I'm going to have potential fetch land plus Inquisition. I'm going to Inquisition him. So I'll have a 4/5 Tarmogoyf until I want to eat his creature. So I can hold off this Throne, so I'm not too worried about that. I wonder what happens if I attack with all these. Like, it'll get to a point where he has to actually start blocking stuff, which is good. Like, every creature he blocks makes it that much safer for me to keep drawing cards. You can't take too many turns of this either, especially since I have all these treetops. Alright, so he's going to block. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe I missed a point of damage. Maybe I was supposed to remove his Ooze now. I think I would rather just get this to a 4/5. Yeah, I'm probably not going to use this fetch land. I'll probably just edge him instead to put a land in the graveyard. Noble Hierarch's okay. So still don't really have to edge him, but it is an option. And I'm going to remove this Skin Render so I don't hit like a Drown in Sorrow or something, just kill myself. And speaking of Drown in Sorrow, maybe I should have pumped this up once. But if I do draw Drown, then I wouldn't mind this dying actually and just getting a bigger Ooze, but it's probably better to just make this a 3/3. I'm just kind of worried about like this plus Hierarch actually attacking me, but I guess that's fine too. He's attacking me and then he's not blocking, so I think that is it. So I should probably pay for this pact. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. Ooh, Putrefy. Ugh. It's getting dicey. Do I just putrefy my own confidant now, though? Definitely attacking with it. Yeah, I think I have to putrefy my own Bob on his turn. A little too risky to keep this game going. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Hierarch is good. Yeah, he should have attacked last turn. Now what's the plan? I can't just take this. I can't just kill my Bob and then eat it and then take this bird hit, because then I have to draw. Basically, I have to draw a removal spell. I guess like he has to block next turn if I attack with everything. Then I won't have enough treetops to block. Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where it's like, there's probably a million things I could have done. So drawing Drown in Sorrow would obviously be awesome. And if that's the case, I want to putrefy my confidant. And I think I can set it up to where, I mean, if I make an attack next turn where he has to block, he can just block this and regenerate and not die. So I'm not even really putting anything in the graveyard next turn necessarily. I don't know. I think it's too risky to kill this and keep my Confidant alive, so I think I just have to do that. I think I just have to kill Confidant. Try and draw something. And then this turn I will do the correct play and make my other ooze slightly bigger. See, course would be pretty good for these games too, where you have Confidant and then you just want to gain some life. Get to control your draw step too. Revelark. I'm probably just dead to that actually. Well, I drew a Dismember, so I'm not dead. This is going to be interesting actually, because if he attacks with this, if he attacks with birds, I can just kill Revelark and eat that. Still can't really attack because of the stupid throne, though. So maybe I'm just back in the spot where I have to draw a removal spell. It was good that I didn't leave that Bob around, though, because this would have definitely killed me. Fine, attack with your birds. Okay, cool. Man, Corsair would be so good in these games. That's really weird. Did not expect that to be the case. So I think I just exile this now. Drown in Sorrow would still be the best card of all time. Lifebane Zombie is not bad, because I can start clocking him. I still don't think I can really attack. Well, let's see. I definitely can't, if I activate a treetop, I can't activate the other one. And I would need to keep 3 creatures back. So if I do get to attack with a creature, it's only 2 of them. So I'd basically be throwing away my Tarmogoyf for a life, which I think is okay. So we'll attack with these. And if he just blocks and regens this, at least I'm dealing him 2 damage. And I'm basically just trying to set it up so where, like, I'm never in a spot where he attacks me for 1, and then next turn I can't attack and force him to block and gain the life back. So this is kind of a tricky spot. I'm sure I'm playing this game terribly, too. I'm sure there are... Well, not terribly, but I'm sure there are ways that I could have, like, eked in damage or put myself in a better position. This game has just been kind of weird, really complicated. I've not played nearly enough Modern or even, like, Booster Draft to be able to navigate these situations as well as I could have in, like, you know, 2003. Okay, this could end up being pretty good for me. Don't you dare take that Finks off that Goif, damn it. Put that Finks on that Goif. If he puts Finks on Goifs, I just get to edge him. So here, I think I am going to edge him. Just to deal him an extra damage. Then, of course, if he draws a removal spell at any time, I'm just dead. But I think I have to play this game kind of risky in order to win. And I think he, you know, to be fair, I think he does have a lot of pretty dead draws in his deck. So. Oh, is this a big flyer? Man, that's not a dead draw. Ugh. That's really bad for me. Okay, it is suicide time. If I drew a removal spell, that would have been great, because I could kill this and gain the life back that I would take from that bird's next turn. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So now I have to send with a bunch of creatures and make it so he blocks. And there's basically no good block, or no bad block for him on this Tarmogoyf. So I think I'm not going to attack with this because I do have to keep a guy back for this Thrun. But so if he just blocks, I guess these trample. I have to actually do some math here, I guess. So this blocks the biggest one. This blocks this. This blocks one of these. This blocks one of these. Yeah, so his Linvala does not have to die. Yeah, I feel like there might have been ways for me to get in damage earlier, where like this 5 could have been lower, and maybe he would have had to start blocking sooner, and then I'd be in a better spot. Wish I had a Slaughter Pact. Pack this, eat a creature. So yeah, that was round 1. that was a tough one, but it's good. Like I said, Pod and Affinity, they're two decks that I want to play against just because I have a lot to learn against them still, and I think I did learn a lot here. Like, Courser would have been fantastic in these games. That's very valuable information, so I am almost certainly going back to Courser at this point, and maybe Life Bane will be in there somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, if I'm keeping an 8 discard, maybe Life Bane is just not even that good because it's very unlikely that I'll be able to snipe something. But yeah, those were fun games. You guys can feel free to berate me in the comments for how poorly I played, or be nice and just point out the different turns where I could have potentially like swung the game in my favor. So.